Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Yael. Today I want to talk to you about partnerships. Specifically, I want to share a few exercises from Kabbalah and Tantra regarding partnership. I now moved to Monterey. I am in a beautiful forest here in Pacific Grove. And one of my lifelong studies is about partnership because I am realizing more and more as I mature that is the relationship in which I am opening my heart the most and I have the most growth because my partner can spot the places that I fall in and he can complete me in my path. So the reason that I chose to combine in this video specifically practices from Kabbalah and Tantra, which are completely different because Kabbalah comes from Israel and Tantra is from India and Tibet, is because both of these methods focus on the male-female connection as a connection that leads us to the correction of the soul and possibly to reach enlightenment in this current lifetime. So the first thing I want to share is a practice that is called untying knots or piercing energy knots in the body. So this is when our energy doesn't flow well, all our joy is not circulating in the body correctly, and it's called an energy knot when something is not properly running. This comes from Tantra, but also in Kabbalah, there's the same idea where the light doesn't properly run in the vessel. In Kabbalah, we have this idea of lights and vessels. If we enlarge our vessel, if we grow, there is more room for light to pour in. In Tantra, there are three centers. There is the root, the heart, and the third eye, in which we can have these blocks. Blockages in the root chakra include anything that is connected to safety. So safety, instinctive behavior, laziness, inertia, and things that are connected to desire. So a collective, I think, blockage in the root chakra is being sometimes lazy or passive in relationships. For example, for me, I read in books and I saw in movies that women should be quiet and wait to be approached, and we don't necessarily lead a relationship. We wait for the man to kind of offer to go out or to start talking to us. Things are shifting right now with apps like Bumble or with women finding their voices and finding that expression. But it's still something that we should heal as women, and we should notice that is actually a block in the root chakra. It's the block of laziness. And when we allow ourselves to talk, to say what we want, it's not only releasing so much energy, but it's also connecting to our aliveness and our sexual energy as women. Because when we're expressed, that means we can also connect to our joy. And in the ancient texts, the yoginis, the ones that practice with the yogis, all the practices in tantras, they are wild creatures. They're wild women that they can laugh one moment and cry the next and kind of be a little bit scary too. So when we as women allow ourselves to connect to that animalistic almost nature, but in a way that we're not stopping ourselves, then I think that is where we begin to discover a new world. Moving on to blockages in the heart chakra, these include emotional attachment, limited compassion towards your partner, and also following other people's advice or ancient wisdom, disregarding your own heart wisdom. Blockages in the third eye include being attached to manipulate things through supernatural powers, disregarding reality. So the second practice that I want to share with you guys is women worship, and it's maybe a little bit controversial because in the Bible and other places it says like we shouldn't worship anybody other than God, but in many traditions this is hinted, and I want to kind of focus on that. Of course, all women want to be worshipped and like not work for it and, be this goddess. But in Tantra, there is this idea that the male achieves enlightenment in a different way than a woman. So women don't necessarily need to worship the man. They need to constantly work on what I said before, on releasing attachment and not being blocked. The man has to work on that too, but also part of his development is to appreciate a woman, not only his partner, but also all women. So it's as far as to say that a man cannot reach enlightenment if he disrespects even one woman. Worshipping the woman is actually teaching a man different things in the process and helping him to develop too. So women are connected to nature, okay? Me sitting here, I feel at home. I feel this is nourishing me. Also through Siberian shamanism, a way for a woman to fill herself up with energy is sometimes to come to nature, to touch the earth, to be in water, to smell different scents. And the idea is that there is energy coming to us as women, and we move the flow to the men. That's why sometimes men are very attracted to what women have to offer. Men are mesmerized by women. And some say that women hold that power. Okay, of course, the man has a lot of gifts to give too in the relationship, but part of this worship is the desire of a man to be blessed and abundant through the woman. Now, when a woman is treated with disrespect, when I am treated wrongly, it almost activates a mechanism of me being very mad. So the difference, I think, between men and women in a relationship is like, if my partner upset me, I can be very angry inside, but still do the same actions. So it seemingly looks like I'm okay, but inside I'm extremely mad and disappointed and almost am stopping to bless him and possibly starting to curse him. With men, it's different. If a man doesn't feel good in a relationship, usually it's very, very obvious. So Tantra teaches us that they take it to the extreme. The yogi needs to really worship the yogini and see her as part of a large entity of a wise woman. And he needs to give her flowers, perfumes, oils, clothes, cook for her, wait till she eats. Only then he eats. Different things that he does that shows his respect and admiration to her. This is just an idea. Now, if you want your woman to feel comfortable in the relationship, to feel more sexy, and maybe you lost that a little bit, try working on this. Try doing little acts of worship and of admiration, and that can soften her up. When the woman is happy, everybody's blessed. Now, in Kabbalah, when a man and a woman marry, the men sign a document stating everything that he is going to give to the woman. But what does the woman give in the man in return? Only her agreeing to be with him. Now moving to the third exercise, and this is a very practical exercise, it's called eye gazing. So when you want to bond very deeply with the person that you're interested in, try eye gazing, looking each other in the eye for at least 5 minutes. Now, this is not just looking in the eye and letting your mind run with your thoughts. It's looking in each other's eyes and really meditating on that focus. So if another thought comes in the awareness, you have to let it go and still continue with that focus. So our eyes are very powerful, and through this connection of both of you looking at each other, the brain releases oxytocin, and oxytocin is a bonding hormone that can create that connection between you. And it's also released when a woman is breastfeeding. So it's that strong. And in the process of the sacred union, when a man and woman, before they unite, they go and they gaze at each other. And this also symbolizes that, my eyes are only on you. And I think this happens naturally, at least for me, when I fall in love with someone. I just want to look in their eyes, and the eyes sparkle, and it's just so magnetic and so real. And when more and more things come into the relationship, maybe aspects of authenticity or not being authentic, then we move our eyes. But like when we just come back to that brings trust, that brings the ability to speak our truth, and it's wonderful. Moving on to number 4, the last one, a practice from Kabbalah, which is a wonderful practice. And it's so simple, but yet sometimes we are afraid to say this to our partners, but it is to have a united goal together, to sit together as partners and to envision life together. But it's not only like having a certain family or a car or a house. It's more about what kind of energy and what kind of things we want to work on in this relationship. So in Tantra, for example, it's very obvious that both people come to this relationship in the purpose for reaching enlightenment. The yogi gives the yogini the gift of pleasure for her to contemplate and meditate and reach different ideas and different understanding about herself and ultimately reach enlightenment. So in that case, it's clear. But Kabbalah teaches us, and from my own life, I know that we need to always focus on a united goal and know which direction we're going towards, and always remind ourselves that, because otherwise we will focus too much about, why is the other person wrong, and forget where we're moving together actually, and that we are partners in this kind of journey of life. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it brought to you some new ideas and a new influence. If you want to work with me personally, study with me, or get some readings, you can write me to my email. I'll share it in the description box. Thank you again, and goodbye.